On the news, no lives lost in Lagos building collapse. Edo government requests Governor-elect Okpebolo to set up transition team. And NFF withdraws Super Eagles from AFCON qualifier after Libyan airport ordeal. Many thanks for joining us on News Now on TV 360 Nigeria. I'm Simisola Atikun. The Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, LASEMA, has confirmed that no lives were lost in the building collapse which occurred on Amosu Street, Orile, Igomu. According to LASEMA, the structure, which comprised 3 rooms each on the first floor and second floor, and 4 shops on the ground floor, had been evacuated before it gave way, which prevented any injuries. Despite eviction notices being served and the building being designated as inhabitable by the state authorities, the occupants, they say, refused to leave. Further assessment conducted on the adjoining 2-story building by LASEMA revealed it is equally distressed and inhabitable.
I said it has been sealed some times ago, and I don't know how they go about it. It was reopened, and the building has been giving sounds for long, like it's cracked for long, and people have been complaining. So some people even left already. Most of the tenants of the house have left. That's why we have less or no casualty. Let me use that word, no casualty.
It seems there's something I've been given a kind of, indication that something of such want to happen. But I even heard when the house wanted to collapse, the people that is inside, they are bringing in their commodities. Definitely they know something is going to happen.
This should show other people's an example of that. You feel when you see a house that is cracking, you should know the right step to take, and to take the right step will be in your own favor. What happens now, we learn other people a big lesson, because anything that government decide on this collapse one, there's no anything we the chiefs or the Ojora family can say.
And when you see that the building is no more good, go to another place. It can't because you want to use house free that you want to kill yourself. Assuming anybody died today, it's going to give the council problem. We are going to inform governor. It will concern the governor. It's going to give everybody issue. So why are you now risking your life? When they see that any house is having a problem, and before house can come down like this, in Yoruba land, the thing will be throwing sand. It will be throwing stone. We believe it in Yoruba land. So, and our people will see that there is no problem. They say there is no problem. There is no problem until when problem now arrive. So I want everybody, they have to be very careful. They should not risk their life because of unnecessary things.
The Office of the Special Advisor to the President on Senate Matters, Senator Bashir Lado, has called for enhanced cooperation between the government agencies and the National Assembly. Speaking in Abuja on Tuesday, Senator Lado emphasized the importance of the partnership in realizing President Bola Tinubu's vision of transparent and effective governance. He further underscored the need for a closer, more constructive relationship between ministries, extra-ministerial departments, agencies, and the Senate, particularly its various committees.
Some agencies may not have consistently adhered to Senate invitations or requests for appearances before committees. While we acknowledge that competing official engagements may sometimes make it challenging for agencies to respond promptly to Senate invitations, it remains essential that these opportunities for engagement are prioritized to demonstrate our continued collective commitment to accountability and good governance. Engaging with Senate committees is an important opportunity for agencies to showcase their dedication to public service and accountability while further reinforcing the people's confidence in government.
In a fresh wave of operations targeting transnational drug cartels, operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, Mohammed International Airport, Ikeja, Lagos, have arrested a Thailand returnee Ogwejiofo Simon Peter for allegedly importing 13.30 kilograms of heroin worth over 3.192 billion naira. Ogwejiofo was arrested on Monday, October 7, 2024, while attempting to smuggle out of the airport the illicit drugs concealed in 6 backpacks and packed into 2 big suitcases. The NDLEA officials also intercepted large consignment of opioids with a combined monetary value of 22,740,958,000 naira at 3 seaports. Tamilore Akinkwole has more details.
According to the NDLEA, the suspect, Ogwejiofo Simon Peter, a 29-year-old of medical engineering, had left Thailand on 3rd October on Qatar Airways flight and stopped over in Doha, where he spent 2 days before heading to Lagos, while his luggage was routed to Accra, Ghana, his original destination. The NDLEA officers, however, intercepted him at the point of exit, where he tried to pick up his luggage as rush bags in a bid-to-bid security checks. In a statement, Ogwejiofo claimed he was hired for a fee of $7,000 upon successful delivery of the parcels. He said he was to deliver 2 parcels in Lagos and the other 4 parcels in Accra, Ghana. Meanwhile, the NDLEA also disclosed that a total of 32.6 million pills of tramadol, worth over 12.5 billion naira, bottles of codeine-based syrups with a street value of 10.1 billion naira have been intercepted at the Lekki Deep Sea Port, Apapa Port in Lagos, and Port Harcourt Port Complex on Air River State. The NDLEA said the illicit consignment was seized from containers watchlisted by the agency based on intelligence and processed for 100% joint examination with men of the Nigeria Custom and other security agencies at the 3 seaport between Monday 7th and Friday the 11th October 2024. The NDLEA further disclosed the commands and formations of the agency across the country continued their war against drug abuse sensitization activities to schools, worship centers, workplaces and communities, among others, in the past week. Speaking further, the chairman and chief executive officer of NDLEA, retired Brigadier General Mohammed Buba Miwa, assured the operational successes by men of the agency, as well as their balanced approach to drug supply and demand reduction efforts are well appreciated. Tamilore Akinkwole, TV360, Lagos.
To political matters, the Edo State government has written to Monday Okpebolo, the governor-elect, requesting that he establish his transition team. This team will collaborate with the outgoing administration's transition team to ensure a seamless transfer of power. In a letter dated October 10, the secretary to the Edo State government, Joseph Eboigbe, stated that forming the team will facilitate meaningful discussions and vital information sharing between both parties. He said the move followed Governor Godwin Obaseki's inauguration of a 20-member transition committee in July to oversee the smooth transition of governance. Still on party politics, the factional acting national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Yayari Mohammed, says he has assumed duty days after his appointment into the position by a section of the party's National Working Committee. Mohammed, who is the national treasurer of the PDP, was appointed by the acting chairman by a faction led by the National Publicity Secretary, Debo Olugunagba, after announcing the suspension of Umar Damagam, who has served in the position since 2023. In a statement issued over the weekend in Abuja, Mohammed said the NWC under his leadership will be guided strictly by the constitution of the party, adding that he will be fair to all members irrespective of their status, position or state. In other stories, the Motorcycle Operators Union of Nigeria, Lagos State Chapter, has called on the state government to intervene and resolve the ongoing impasse over the subversion of the governor's executive authority by the Lagos State Ministry of Transportation. At a press conference held in Lagos on Monday, the MOUN's leadership, through its lead counsel GT Ogunye, decried the ministry's unauthorized issuance of recognition and certification to non-MOUN members, despite the governor's approval for recognition and certification of the authentic group on April 26, 2024. According to the senior lawyer, the ministry has issued the certificate to the Oniba of Iba, a non-MOUN member, a move described as a clear violation of the Constitution and an attempt to hijack the union.
They already exist in fact and in law. They have organized themselves before they then sought. And why did they seek it? They sought it principally because before now, there were pre-existing associations wedded to NURTW. That's, and then wedded to Road Transport Employer Association of Nigeria, which by the force of law and by this recognition, will now have to deaffiliate and be integrated. So, we feel that it is not acceptable for the governor of a state to give a directive. And some people who feel that they are small governors will now subvert what the governor has done.
This is the time for us to stand up and truly defend the right of one, which is the right of all. And to round up on this, just punch your calculator. 2,000 naira times 20,000 people, that gives you 40 million naira a day. So if you look at it, just 2,000 naira, urgent 2K. But you forget that when this urgent 2K is collected from 20,000 people, it becomes bulk money. So people will kill for it. They will not want an association that will regulate what the money is meant for. Our prayers, very simple. The rescission of that letter that was handed over to people who did not apply for it.
Moon has not started officially in Lagos, except for a portion in Agege. So we are not part of what Oniba is doing, and we cannot be part of, because it's not a member of our union. So please, we beseech you, we implore you to help us shout, and so that this thing will get to the governor and other Nigerians.
Let's shift to health. In a proactive move to promote public health, the Lagos State government has partnered with UNICEF to organize a media orientation dialogue on non-polio supplemental immunization activities. This collaborative effort aims to empower the media to dispel myths and misconceptions surrounding vaccinations, promoting awareness about the importance of immunization in protecting children from vaccine-preventable diseases like measles, yellow fever, HPV, and other routine vaccinations. In a keynote address, the Supervising Permanent Secretary of Lagos State Primary Health Care Board, Abimbola Bowale, outlined the goal to vaccinate at least 95% of eligible individuals against measles and 80% against yellow fever. He says the vaccination campaign, scheduled to start on October 19, will run for 2 weeks, targeting eligible individuals.
Most of these biases are based on ignorance. So vaccination is very good, vaccination is safe, and vaccination can ensure that we prevent a lot of preventable diseases from maiming and killing our people. For the schools, for a child, nobody will give vaccine to a child except we get the consent of the parents. So a consent form will also be given to them in the schools. And then they will take it home, and then each parent will give a consent. That is the only time we can actually administer vaccine to any child.
We want to actually assure that the state government has put in place every provision to ensure that the right people who are health workers are the ones who will be vaccinating people. You would always see, at least within the team, 2 health workers with their uniform. And so that should give us assurance that these teams are from the government and their safety their safety is assured, and the vaccines to which they are carrying around is actually potent to protect the citizens of Lagos.
So the vaccination exercise commences on the 19th of October, which is this Saturday. 19th of October, which is this Saturday, and it's supposed to run for 2 weeks. But we also know that we are committed to ensure that we vaccinate every eligible person. So it may run longer than 2 weeks. It's time for a short break. When News Now returns,
China starts new round of war games near Taiwan, offers no end date. Stay with us, we'll be back shortly. Welcome back. Here's a quick reminder of our top stories. The Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, LASEMA, has confirmed that no lives were lost in the building collapse which occurred on Amosu Street, Orile-Igomu, Lagos. According to LASEMA, the structure, which comprised 3 rooms each on the first and second floors and 4 shops on the ground floor, had been evacuated before it gave way, which prevented any injuries. We also informed you that the Edo State government has written to Monday Okpebolo, the governor-elect, requesting that he establish his transition team. In a letter dated October 10, the secretary to the Edo State government, Joseph Eboigbe, stated that forming the team will facilitate meaningful discussions and vital information sharing between both parties. In case you missed any of our news bulletins or for more updates, you can catch us on Limex World TV and AVO TV or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria, or download our mobile app on Google Play Store, Huawei App Gallery and Apple Store. On Facebook, we're at TV360 Online.
In the last 3 years, we have built a multi-purpose center, which is the envy of all in our constituency. And I can tell you that the people who are living there are already enjoying it.
Guy, do you think what this man just said is true? See, I seriously doubt. I'm sure it's one of those their silly lies.
Wait, do you know there's a way to find out if these things he's saying is true or not? This is the Construct app. It gives people like us a sure way to track implementation of constituency projects. It gives valid and verified information on location of projects, amounts allocated, amount funded, the level of job done, and even the profiles of concerned legislators. You and I can post directly on this app.
Are you serious?
This is the Go-To app if you want to know how our Commonwealth is being expanded by the government.
Wow. Let's even see if what this man said is true. Show me.
The Construct app is developed by Other People Nigeria with support from USAID and is available on both Google Play Store and Apple Store.
And it's true.
Of course, I told you.
Okwayemi Owosheni, let's join Okwayemi Owosheni, who has the latest in the world of business. Over to you, Okwayemi.
Thank you, Simisala. In business, Nigeria's foreign capital inflows from BRICS nation have surged by 189% in the first half of 2024. That's amid the country's ongoing effort to secure a spot within the expanded BRICS coalition. Data from the National Bureau of Statistics revealed that capital importation from BRICS countries rose from $438.72 million in the first 6 months of 2023 to $1.27 billion in the same period of 2024. The BRICS group, initially comprising Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, expanded on January 1st, 2024 by officially welcoming 5 new members, making a round of 10. While Nigeria was not included in this wave of expansion, the government says it is actively working towards membership within the next 2 years, aiming to boost trade and investment opportunities. We'll go on a short break now and be back with Stock Market Report. Welcome back. Nigeria's stock market held stronger on Monday by 0.62% as investors started the trading week with eyes on the third quarter earnings season. That's despite concerns about inflation figure. Wapik Insurance led the gainers with a 10% share price appreciation, closing at 0 naira 88 kobo per share, followed by the Initiate, which closed at 2 naira 14 kobo. Now, at the end of the first weekday of trading on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, we see a total of 304 million volumes of shares exchanging 8,083 deals, corresponding to a market value of 19.707 billion naira. Now, when compared with the previous NGX trading day, that's Friday, October 11th, today's data shows 252% improvement in turnover and 16% improvement in the deals. Now, turning our attention to the global market, it's a similar situation as well, as the UK FTSE and US Dow Jones maintained a northward position to close in the bullish territory. The Nikkei, however, remained unchanged at 0.57% as Japan observed Health and Sports Day, a national holiday celebrated annually on the second Monday of October. The holiday is established to commemorate the opening of the 1964 Tokyo Olympics. Now, in the foreign exchange market, the Naira continued to depreciate against the US dollar on the black market, now trading at 1,700 Naira, while the exchange at 2,270 Naira against the British pound and 1,860 Naira against the euro. That concludes today's business and stock market report. Back to you, Simisola, for the rest of the news.
Thank you very much, Opeyemi. And on the foreign scene, China's military has started a new round of war games with ships and aircrafts near Taiwan, just days after the self-ruled democratic island marked its National Day. The exercises, called Joint Sword 2024B, began early on Monday and were described as a stern warning to the separatist acts of Taiwan Independence Forces by Beijing, which claims the island. Captain Li Ji, the spokesman for the Chinese military's Eastern Theater Command, issued a statement saying the Army, Navy, Air Force and Rocket Forces would conduct sea-air combat readiness patrols and drills to stimulate blockading key ports and assaulting maritime and ground targets. According to him, the drills were a legitimate and necessary operation for safeguarding state sovereignty and national unity and gave no date for their conclusion. In response, Taiwan's Ministry of National Defense issued a statement condemning the provocative drills and vowed to defend Taiwan's democracy, freedom and sovereignty. On sports, the Nigeria Football Federation (NFF) has said the Super Eagles will no longer take part in the 2025 AFCON qualifier against Libya, after being stranded at the Al Abrak airport for 13 hours on Monday en route to their match with the Mediterranean Knights, scheduled for Tuesday, October 15. Photos and videos of the players and officers sleeping on benches at the airport with their luggage littered on the floor made headlines early on Monday. The players say they were without food and access to the internet during the 13 hours, a development which has triggered outrage from Nigerians. In response, the Confederation of African Football (CAF) says it has opened an investigation into the Super Eagles ordeal in Libya and has threatened to sanction those found violating its statutes and regulations.
Well, suffice it to say that we have established contact with them. We've sent people from the mission to go there that are representing the mission. They are in touch with the delegation there. I am also communicating directly with the chairman, and since last night we've been on the phone with the Shaja d'Affaires, because Libya doesn't have an ambassador here, so we're in touch with the Shaja d'Affaires, and I'm heading back to the ministry now, where we have summoned the Shaja d'Affaires, the Libyan Shaja d'Affaires.
Well, let's discuss this baffling situation involving the Super Eagles. I'm joined by veteran sport journalist Kule Shaja. Thank you, sir, for your time. Now, this treatment of the Super Eagles by Libyan authorities is, without a doubt, quite disheartening. And what's your reaction to the response by the Libyans? Do you think this is some kind of setback for how they alleged they were treated when they landed in Uyo for the first leg of the AFCON qualifier against Nigeria on Friday, October 11?
Thank you very much. Well, what I first of all say is that the action is very condemnable, and many sports personalities all over the world, African football legends, who are not even Nigerians, have also condemned it. I've seen the tweets by Emmanuel Adebayo of Togo. I've seen the tweet by Emerick Aubameyang of Gabon, all condemning it that this should not be happening in the year 2024. We would have expected that African countries will have grown and be more mature in handling things, even where there is discomfort or to disagree on any issue. There are better ways of adjudicating it to make reports. In the case of Libya, they claimed they were delayed at the airport by about 2 hours, and now they decided that they were going to delay the Nigerian team indefinitely and probably will release them just on time for the match, which is very unhealthy, it's unethical, and it is very unsportsmanship. I'm happy CAF had intervened, and I'm also happy the Nigerian team had already made its way back to the country, because no football match, no fair game can be played under that kind of foul atmosphere. Libya had always proven not to be a good destination for tourists and for sportsmen. You recall that it's just recently that since 2013, FIFA and CAF did not sanction international football matches to be played in Libya, and they've just shown now why that sanction should still continue, and that Libya is not a good place to play international football matches.
Right, now that the Super Eagles have boycotted the match in Libya, do you think that they will be sanctioned?
Well, from the press release by CAF, it's just a very thin veil pointing at the team that actually made the match impossible. If they could not enter into Libya, they would not have, the only other place who could have played the match would have been at the airport, inside the airport arrival hall. And since that is not possible, the best thing is to just to return. You can't play that match having been subjected to that kind of ordeal, not eating, not drinking water, and not being able to have a good night's rest. That's not good for sportsmen. And from what CAF has released, the press release, is already an indication that the sanction will be on Libya, because the opening sentence decried the actions of the Libyans, because they condemned the action, and that they have now referred the situation to the disciplinary board of to investigate and sanction which party has infringed on the status of both CAF and FIFA. And from all indications,
sorry to cut you at this point. Now, what should be the next line of action by CAF, and what should be done, to avoid a recurrence of this sort of incident going forward?
There's a case in point. Last year, towards the end of last year, there was this same situation involving RC Bakane of Morocco and USM OGS of Algeria. That situation is even a mild one compared to this, because what happened to the Moroccans was that the Algerians said they would not be able to go in with their luggage, which contained their jersey, and that the jersey was infringing on their own political agenda. So that was jersey, and at least they still allowed the players to go in. And in the end, CAF ruled a forfeiture of that match against the Algerian team that made the match impossible, and at the same time awarded 3 goals, 3 points against the Algerian team. This is even a worse situation, because in this particular instance, it's not just the luggage that you didn't allow to enter into your territory, you didn't allow the personnel to enter to your territory. It's clear Libya had nothing to gain or lose in this match, because having played 3 matches, they just have 1 point. And the best thing to do is to instigate a crisis that will make the group inconclusive. And I'm sure CAF is already aware of that. I'm expecting CAF to rule 3 points, 3 goals in favor of them.
Well, we'll see what happens going forward. Sports journalist, Mr. Shaja, thank you very much, sir, for talking to us. And that's it on our news. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again next time. Bye for now.